comet impact with Earth could wipe out the entire human race. Not only the human race, but a lot of plants and animals species as well. This would be an extinction level event. This is on Branded Reality. Now, what if we told you that within the next 20 years, Earth will face an enemy that will be 1,000 times more catastrophic than the detonation of every nuclear weapon on the planet? World-renowned author Graham Hancock believes this could be our fate. We have a lot of scars on our Earth of comets and asteroid impacts, not only on our Earth, but also on Mars and the Moon. Now, he says that he's warned the public that sometime over the next 20 years, Earth may collide with the remnants of a comet that will have a devastating impact on the planet and could potentially wipe out our entire civilization if we don't do something. And now, the way the things stand now, we don't have the technology to stop a comet or an asteroid impact. We just don't have the technology to save ourselves. The hard truth to swallow is that Earth is in the direct path of approximately 500,000 asteroids and comets, and NASA is unaware of the exact location of most of them, of 498,000 of them. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. Every 3,000 to 4,000 years, Earth gets hit by a deadly group of comet fragments. That's every 3,000 to 4,000 years. A deadly group of comet fragments hit our Earth, and they pose significant risk to the planet. Of course, Hancock has presented evidence of comets wiping out entire civilizations, and the Comet Research Group has been researching this subject for the past decade. Now, the last time we had a comet impact about 12,800 years ago, the Clovis culture of North America, as we know, had been wiped out. Also, the woolly mammoths and a lot of these animals that were around at that time. And this comet strike brought on the Ice Age. Now, it's not if a comet will hit us, but when. When. It will hit us, but we don't know when. Of the comets and asteroids we actually know about, they range in size from as small as a house to as wide as a football field. The smallest ones would still be able to completely destroy one of the Earth's largest cities, and the largest ones could generate explosions significantly worse than what the world's largest atomic bombs could produce. Any one of these could be headed towards our planet, and we would not even know it, particularly because in the past we were not always warned, there weren't always warning signs, and in part because we don't conduct enough research on this subject. Even if we were to find that they would be incoming to us, we still, with the technology that we have today, would not be able to save ourselves. Now, Comet Research Group CRG is part of a nonprofit charitable organization comprised of 63 scientists from 55 universities in 16 countries. The group's research has been showcased on numerous mainstream and scientific outlets, including the History Channel, National Geographic, Discovery Channel, and PBS's Nova. The group has made significant advances in scientific research, including the discoveries of 2 past killer comets that hit our Earth. One of these comets destroyed an entire city in the Middle East, killing thousands of people and leaving the city uninhabited for centuries. The other comet collided with Earth towards the end of the Ice Age, a far more catastrophic event killing tens of thousands of people. This particular comet was also responsible for the extinction of millions of animals, including mammoths and mastodons. That was the one that the comet that split up. It was supposedly fragments were found all over the Earth. Now, to put that into perspective, if a comet the same size were to hit Earth right now, it would change our world as we know it. Now, what happened when past comets collided with our Earth? Many people assume that the last time we had a devastating visitor from space, it was the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs 65 million years ago, but this could not be further from the truth. There have been numerous examples throughout history of space rocks landing on Earth since then, one as recently as 3 years ago. We know that one in 2013, the space rock that hit the small city in Russia, Chelyabinsk, actually didn't hit. It hit on our atmosphere, and it caused the air shock caused damage to 7,000 buildings, seriously injuring 1,500 people. Another rock that hit Tunguska, Russia in 1908 caused mass destruction, flattening over 80 million trees. That's the equivalent to obliterating New York City. Now, Graham Hancock, author of Fingerprints of the Gods, has researched this subject extensively and continues to do so. In his findings, he discovered that a cataclysmic extinction event, similar to the comet that destroyed the dinosaurs, also occurred about 11 to 12,000 years ago, narrowing down the exact date to approximately 11,800 years. Hancock compares this timeline to the accounts from Plato about the abrupt disappearance of Atlantis, theorizing that the two events coincided, and he suggested that Plato's account of the sinking of Atlantis by a cataclysmic flood, as described in mythical accounts around the world, actually occurred as a result of this comet. Hancock also suggests that the demise of Atlantis took place when scientists started seeking greater external control and material gain, so the universe slapped it down with a comet. Now, in the Emerald Tablets written by Thoth the Atlantean, he explains to us, and I have a playlist of what I read for you there. It's amazing what those Emerald Tablets hold as far as spiritual advancement and advanced technology and interstellar flights and even interdimensional travel. He says that their use of a lot of spiritual knowledge, even bringing in demons from other dimensions, which was of course a detriment to humans, was not to be done, and they did it anyway. And according to him, it was a matter of time before divine intervention stopped them from doing that. So again, this is what Graham Hancock says, saying that exactly what Thoth the Atlantean said, that they, because of their narcissistic, egocentric personalities, the universe slapped them down with a comet. Now, if Hancock's hypothesis is true, then what does that mean for our humanity? It's no secret that scientists and researchers are often bought off by corporations and elite to falsify findings. Let's hope that if Hancock is correct in his statement about Atlantis, we are not facing the same grim fate in the future. Now, how the Comet Research Group is identifying these comets. The Comet Research Group has identified the 12,800-year-old dark charcoal-rich layer, often referred to as the black mat. The black mats can be found in approximately 100 different sites all over our Earth, which shows that the Earth burned up, turned into charcoal. The layer occasionally forms directly on top of the bones of extinct animals. Directly beneath this layer, there are also thousands of tons of tiny diamonds, each one smaller than the size of a virus. However, if you were to combine all of these tiny diamonds and roll them into a ball, the size would be comparable to your average New York skyscraper. Around this layer, you can also find millions of tons of iron spherules. The most interesting part of all of this is to consider how all of these items could be produced and end up all together. It would require a temperature hot enough to melt the entire automobile. Scientists' answer is it was a comet, fragmented, striking all over the Earth. Now, the research published by the Comet Research Group proves that these comet attacks are not random, but rather a recurring pattern of impacts, which is not good news. Their findings show that we are actually entering a period of quote-unquote enhanced bombardment, end quote. It's no longer a question of these comets, if these comets will hit us, but when. NASA spends $50 million on comet research annually. Even though this sounds like a significant amount of money, it's not nearly enough to fund the amount of large-scale research this subject deserves. The U.S. government refuses to fund this research any further, so like many other topics, it's up to us to further research and discover the truth for ourselves. Now, we know that NASA has asked for volunteers to pan through their images, and there have been a lot of amateur volunteers who found comets and asteroids looking through the NASA images. So if you want to help, the message is that we can prevent our extinction. This is not the dinosaur era. We are far from technologically advanced. So If we research more into space rocks and comets, we can work towards saving our planet and its inhabitants. The Comet Research Group just launched its first Indiegogo campaign, so if you'd like to learn more and support their cause, the campaign aims to raise enough funds to cover their upcoming expeditions, which you can learn about. So this is from Kaylee Brown, Collective Evolution, Unbedded Reality. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support.